What's going on, IG? What's going on, Facebook family? How are y'all doing out there? How are y'all doing? I'm gonna give a few minutes for folks to jump in. Give a couple of minutes, and we're gonna get going with it tonight. We're gonna get going with it tonight. We got a few people already jumping in. It's good to see y'all tonight. What's up? What's up? What's up? I was thinking about having a little holiday music, but guess what? I was rushing. I was rushing to get in from the office to get ready to jump on. So we're gonna work it out tonight, y'all. We're gonna work it out tonight. In fact, yes, we're gonna work it out. So here's the deal. We know that first of all, let me introduce myself for those of you who are new to Girl Talk Live. Um, I'm Dr. Jada, your weight loss and wellness expert. I'm a physician, personal success and inner self work coach, speaker, and best-selling author. I help high achieving and results driven women not only weigh less, but further your personal success through either my medical practice, where I actually do medical work, or even my signature coaching programs, which are geared towards that, and my online content. So hopefully you enjoy these, and I'm always looking for new topics. So if there's anything that pops out for you, definitely please do share it. And through my speaking. So I am super, super excited to be here with you tonight. And we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to skip all the casualties. If there's anybody that you think would benefit from jumping in, the topic tonight is your holiday behavior off the chain? So we're going to talk through that tonight. So we're past Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving. For many of us um, in this country, we celebrate the last practically 6 weeks of each year through what would be Thanksgiving, and many celebrate Christmas and New Year's, and whether you do or don't, there are others, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any of those that you celebrate. Recently, there was Diwali. So a festive time of year, let's just say. And we definitely want to include everybody and just kind of talking about the holiday season. So, I will always come to you with topics that are trending in my office or with my coaching clients, or maybe even in my life and those around us. So this topic has been trending, like what's up with these holidays? What am I doing throughout the holidays? So I'm already getting people in the weight loss center who have, because y'all know I got a weight loss and wellness center in Atlanta. We do serve outside of Atlanta, shameless plug. But yeah, so we get people who are already starting to see some of the, what do you call it, kind of aftermath of the holiday season. A lot of people feel like the holidays start at Halloween, if you think about that as the candy giving and all of that. And so I'm starting to see people that are coming into the office and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm still trying to recover from Thanksgiving. Um, and I'm concerned about the holidays with not just my weight, but I'm going to tell y'all a few other things that are coming up for the holidays that I want y'all to be aware of. So is your holiday behavior off the chain, or does it have the potential to be off the chain? And here are a few things that I think would be worth discussing tonight. If anybody wants to pop in here with me, hey, everybody that has already joined, thank you for jumping on. If anybody wants to pop in, hey, pop in and just wave your hand or ask to join in. So a few things. Now, one is your holiday behavior off the chain. So one of those things we're going to talk about is typically around the holidays, everybody, first of all, is not merry and bright. Everybody is not merry and bright, especially coming off of COVID season. For many people, the holidays, not only is it not merry and bright, but it is sorrowful, sad, and blue, dark. Whether that is due to recent loss, that's especially coming off of COVID, family members that were here 2019, 2020 that are no longer here with us on this earth in human form. That's something that kind of is not very exciting, or it doesn't lend itself to be merry and bright this time of year. So that's something, and even for those who didn't experience recent loss, sometimes past loss, especially anniversaries of past loss that happen around holiday seasons, can be very, very challenging. And I want to tip you in on something about that. Grief and loss can sometimes be in the background and you don't even know it. So sometimes I even have clients who hit a blue mood or a low spot. And when I really determine more and question more and get a little bit deeper, turns out that this is the time frame that they lost their mother or child or a family member. Another thing is sometimes other things in life changes. Grief is not always about death. It may be the loss of, and loss is not always about humans. Sometimes there's the loss of relationships. So people who have lost relationships, not only this time of year, but just have lost relationships over the past year, or maybe this time of year reminds you of what you used to enjoy about the holidays, whether that was a boyfriend, girlfriend, baby mama, daddy, a spouse. So if you're a divorcee, even if you don't even miss the person, even if you don't miss that, like you don't want that person back, but being alone during the holidays is a thing, and there are feelings there are emotions there's a sense of loneliness, loss, sadness, absence of fulfillment, and so it's not necessarily merry and bright. So that's a whole thing. So loss of relationships, sometimes even loss of income. Maybe job situations have changed. Maybe even I was speaking recently with someone whose life changed pretty abruptly when her father passed and her mother had to move in with her. So now she is a caregiver all of a sudden of a family member, someone that you love that's near and dear to you. But let's just face it, caregiving is a lot. Caregiving is a lot. So sometimes the loss of independence, because now someone is depending on you that you did not have to account for. So that can be something that it kind of stimulates a sense of grief and loss. So it's not always the things that you think about that would cause this kind of low mood or depressed. Even pets. Y'all, pets are like people's family. I mean, that is family for a lot of people. So the loss of a pet that was here last year or earlier this year or some time ago, and you're used to your family photos or your own photos, especially if your pet was literally like your baby, then that incites a certain type of feeling this time of year that may not be as merry and bright and jolly and all of those, filled with cheer. And it's okay to own that. That's what I want you to know tonight. It's okay to own that. We're really just creating some awareness here. It's okay to own that that is where you are. It's totally okay to own that that is where you are. So definitely check your mood. I want you to be mindful of not only where you are, but look at the people around you. Everybody processes grief and loss differently. Where one person may seem to be doing well, okay, well, they lost the same family member, but that person is different for that person. Like even I lost my father this year in April due to COVID. I lost my father. And it may be very different for my sister. I have kids around, I have a husband around, and all those things. But it's a little different for her. And I'm kind of speaking for her. She might be on here and she may like, well, you telling my business, but I'm just saying, it may be a little different. So pay attention to other people in your life. Pay attention to your family members. And you know what? I just came up with, Spirit just told me to tell you right now, any of you on here now that this is resonating with you, stop right now and tag somebody. Tag right now somebody that needs to join this, somebody that needs to hear this. Stop right now and reach out to them. Send them a text, tag them on Instagram or Facebook, and tell them to jump on here, because this is. I mean, we're gonna go in a little bit tonight, y'all. I always say we're gonna make it short, and I'm just not a short talking person, apparently. So we're gonna just go where it goes. We're just gonna go where it goes tonight. As long as I got some battery, but y'all know I'm good for that too. I could just flip out on you, but I got plenty of battery tonight. So that's the other thing, is that people process things differently. So the other thing is, check on your strong friends. They may look like things are going well. We can get into a behavior or into a mode of just going through the motions that we block out our own truth. So your strong friends might look like they got it going on. They look like they got their Christmas tree up and all these other things. They look like they're excited about the year, but then go home and the tree might as well not be there. It may not be, like, things are really going on in the background. So y'all check on your strong friends. This is a very challenging time for people, no matter what they are, or whether they're always the strong friend. So check on your strong friends. Okay, if you're a strong friend, let somebody check on you. Let somebody check on you. You know, we got to find, even in our strength, we got to figure out, we got to find out who can we be vulnerable with? Who can we be incredibly honest with? Who can we just call and, just reach out and just get, just ugly cry on the phone? Fall into your arms and just become limp in somebody's arms because you just need a release. If you don't have that in your life, we got to find it. We got to find it. We got to find a place where you can feel comfortable with transparency, with vulnerability, because all this pretending and all of this unnecessary pretending, unnecessary strain, it is not the holiday behavior that we want to continue to perpetuate. Okay. So I'm just saying, even the strong people, those of you, if you identify with that, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to even be bah humbug. Just say that I ain't in the mood this year. That might be a tip off to your friends that know that you're always the one putting your tree up first. And you might need to recognize this, because sometimes what I really have come to understand, especially in the clients that I work with, is that self-awareness and varying levels of self-awareness require you to look at yourself, to look at your life, look at how you flow, look at look at who you be, how you be, and to be open and honest with yourself. I call that mirror work. So sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and just be honest. And if it's not a friend, if it's not a relative, if it's not somebody that you can fall into the arms of, guess what? You got to get some help. If it's a therapist, if it's booking a more frequent appointment with your therapist, if it's, being in a group, being in a support group, getting into coaching, y'all, what I'm saying is, don't be out here suffering in silence. Don't be out here suffering in silence. That's all I'm saying. So we're talking about, is your holiday behavior. You thought I was going to be talking about food and eating and alcohol. Well, I am. I'm getting to that. But I wanted to, really start with these emotional things that start to become triggers that may be unnoticed or may be unrecognized. So I want you to be able to look at your life. I want you to be able to look at yourself. And I want you to be able to grant a little grace. I want you to be able to grant yourself a little grace right now. And guess what? If you're not in the mood and you're not feeling it right now, this is not season's greetings. Give yourself permission to say, hey, I'm going to work on me this season. I'm going to really do some self-work, or I'm really going to sit this one out, and I'll catch up with y'all in the new year. If you're not shopping and you're not feeling that, guess what? I'll get you in the new year when I'm feeling better. Now, speaking of feeling better and shopping and preparation for the new year, watch yourself, because some people use shopping as an outlet for pain, for grief, for loss, for suffering. For, like if you know that your shopping habits are really, really, really shifting up, and you know that that's kind of your vice, be mindful of that, because one of the biggest things that we see at the beginning of the year as a stressor for people is financial stress, because people have overextended themselves, either because they felt like out of obligation, or even just out of fun, but sometimes out of this addicted, persistent behavior, or the need to dissipate stress. So you want to be mindful of looking to see, am I shopping excessively to circumvent something that's really emotionally upsetting to me, or emotionally out of alignment for me in this season. So just check yourself, because we don't want to move out of the holiday season and into a dark season because there's an additional financial stress. So that's one of the number one things. Now, the next thing that typically happens during the holidays, related to and kind of inclusive, is stress in general. Stress around deadlines for those people who are, especially people who are in the finance industry, people who are in accounting. This can be kind of a really, really stressful time. So trying to navigate holiday season and also things with year end, just being mindful of that additional stress in general. The other stress is being accustomed to having loved ones around, and still, because we're kind of in this piece of COVID that is, we're still watching, that sometimes that part you can't really be as mobile. Maybe you used to take a trip every year at this time, and it's kind of dicey right now. So changes in your traditions may create stress. And then the other thing is, I saw this a lot during Thanksgiving, people who were preparing to be around family or family members that you just don't really get down like that. That's not someplace that's fulfilling for you. That's not something that fills your cup. Being around certain relatives, and even those closest to you, that it's not a feeling that leaves you feeling happy and joyful and all of those things. And sometimes even, it may do quite the opposite. So be mindful of how you position yourself for family gatherings. If that is a source of stress, be mindful of that, and know that you have some choices, and that you can be protective of self, that you can put parameters in place that don't leave you suffering or having to be the person that's peacemaking for everybody at the expense of your own peace. So be mindful, everybody. So on that note, I wanted to describe even a couple of things. I talked a little bit about low moods or depression or having the blues, especially because this time of year, with seasonal affective disorder, for those who may already have been diagnosed or know yourself to have depressive disorders, maybe you're on medications for depression, or maybe you take an antidepressant or have taken one in the past. Just know that it is not uncommon that seasonally, just because it is this time of year seasonally, the winter season, the gray season, especially depending on where you live, that your mood may change. And guess what? You don't even have to have a history of depression to notice that your mood has shifted in this winter season. So be mindful of that. Pay attention. Are you disinterested in the things you usually enjoy? Are you kind of wanting to stay in the bed more? Are you withdrawn more? Are you isolating yourself from others? Is it a struggle for you to get out in front of, people now? Is it challenging for you to concentrate or stay focused? Or have you found that you have had a loss of interest in things you usually enjoy? Those can be signs that your mood is shifting. Even in relationships, you don't want to communicate. Those are things that could be shifting. And I really want to tap not only on the mood changes in terms of depression or seasonal affective disorder, which I might talk a little bit more about on another session. But also the anxiety. I talked a little bit about stress. Sometimes people get uptight, especially in the African American community. People get uptight talking about depression and anxieties, words that we don't want to attach to our names. We don't want to acknowledge or recognize or claim these things. And whether you claim them or not doesn't change the fact that these are very present symptoms in your life, and that these are things that you don't have to struggle through. There are things that you could do about it. And I want you to know that this is not just a woman's thing. I know that a lot of times women are who's what's on this call, so, or on this segment, or on this live stream. So I want you right now to tag a guy, tag a guy in your life, because I think this will be very relevant not only to women but also to men. So tag right now, text right now a guy and tell them to jump on right now, because this is for them too. And I will tell you, in the office this week, I saw a guy. He came in for a weight loss consultation, and as we went through the consultation, there were some things that were very, very evident to me from a clinical perspective, that this person also was probably struggling with a mood disorder. So I will tap on that, and I'll probably do a special segment just for guys. So I'll let you know when I do that. But I want you to know, if you're a lady on here and you can't tag a guy, just know, ladies, that men also struggle during this time of year. Sometimes it's financial obligations. If, trying to make sure all of the family has some, gifts or things that to celebrate with, but also being mindful of the bills. And if you're like our household, we're coming off of tuition for the fall and getting ready for tuition for kids that are in college, kids with an S, that are in college. Actually, my son just graduated. But that, can be a very challenging time. And also be mindful that your spouse, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, I talked about earlier, they may be experiencing loss differently, and that guys also struggle with grief and loss. So be really mindful. Pay attention to the people in your lives. This live stream might not be for you. Maybe you are merry and bright, but somebody close to you, a coworker, may not be. So I need you to be my eyes and ears. I need you to be an extension of me. I need you to put this word out there. I need you to look out for folks. You're kind of like my navigator, because we want to make sure our people are good right now. So the next thing is not just depressed mood or low mood, but anxiety. And I want y'all to know that anxiety does not necessarily, we usually think about the person that's shaking and smoking all the time and all of that. But I will tell you, anxiety can show up in a lot of different ways. And there are ways that we don't really think about. So I'm going to simplify the term anxiety. I'm going to simplify it for you. Anxiety is really lack of peace. It's just lack of peace, whether you're a worrier naturally, or maybe there are anxieties about specific things. There are social anxieties, but then there's just generalized anxiety. And so that may show up as difficulty sleeping at night. It may be that your mind is racing overnight, thinking about all the things that could go wrong, have gone wrong, would go wrong, might go wrong again, worrying excessively about death, worrying even just worry in general. Worry in general is a very, very, very clear indicator of anxiety. Other things, changes in your, not only changes in your sleep pattern because of worry, but because sometimes you just want to numb that feeling of anxiety. Other things is that, this is a time of year that, it changes in alcohol patterns, drug patterns, eating patterns. All of those can be signs that there is an imbalance of sorts of how your brain is firing neurotransmitters, and also where there may be triggers. So more alcohol use happens around this time of year, not just because you're socializing more, but just because that's a way of kind of calming and satisfying those levels of stress or anxiety that we have not really tapped into or identified. Other things too, like I mentioned, drug use. One of the biggest businesses over the course of COVID was the increase in the use of marijuana, and not just in kids, but also in adults. So, in adolescents and teens, believe it or not, they get stressed out as well, especially for those who are applying for college, those that are trying to apply for scholarships. They're applying for FAFSA. They're adjusting to going back to college or leaving college, being at home with parents for the holidays, not being able to do drugs if they were in college. I know y'all think y'all kids are 100% like, innocent, but maybe, and maybe not. So if you see changes in behavior of your children, that could be a sign of anxiety for them, that they're used to kind of self-medicating, so to speak. So pay attention to that, parents. If their mood is flipping off and they're edgy and irritable and all of that kind of stuff, that's one of the things that you have to think about with teens and adolescents. I know I'm giving y'all a whole lot tonight. I'm just thinking as I talk, these are all independent topics of themselves. So y'all have to put in the chat right there. Put it in the chat for me so I'll remember which ones do you want me to come back and talk about specifically. Because if you put it in there, then I'm going to hold you accountable to inviting somebody to be here to listen to that. But moving right along, so increase in alcohol use, increase in drug use, whether you agree that marijuana is a drug or not, because in some places it is legal, and that's cool. I'm not, this is not a judgment talk. I'm just saying be in the awareness of. And then the other thing, and I'll end with this because we're about 26 minutes in, and I always like to make this something that you could go back to or share with somebody, is emotion shifting, stress and anxiety. I'm a weight loss and wellness doctor at heart. In addition to being a coach that works with people in the area of personal success and wellness and well-being, the other thing is emotional eating. This is a very, very big time. Of course, there are more foods get all year round. So granted, you just have access to it more, but also compulsive eating increases over the holidays, often due to one, it's more accessible, but two, because it is used as a self-medicating tool. So it is used to reduce triggers, to reduce anxiety, to reduce stress, to cover up emotions that are not dealt with or not recognized, acknowledged, or worked through. So you definitely want to think about, how are you eating? Watch your eating patterns. And let me tell you something too. Don't be so quick to, now this is the area that you really have to, oh shoot, I don't know if you can hear me because I took one of my earbuds out. But this is something that I really want to make sure that you recognize, because what happens is, after, and you've heard me talk about the cycle of emotional eating before. If you haven't, put it in here if you want me to talk about that specifically again. But for those who have or haven't, I'll just recap. The cycle of emotional eating is that you get this really, get this like really, really strong urge. Then you act on the urge, and then it is satisfying and it reduces these anxiety, stressors, and emotions for a fixed period of time. And then guess what? You go back into a guilt or remorse phase, which then heightens anxiety, heightens disappointment, heightens self dissatisfaction. And the neurotransmitters that support that way of thinking increase even more. So your brain hormones are doing this, and it's signaling to your appetite to do this as well. So be really, really mindful of emotional eating and get ahead of it. That's what you want to do, is get ahead of it. And because what will happen is, after the holidays, I told you the number two, I left you hanging, but you didn't think I was going to come back to it, but I did. So the first thing is financial stress. The second thing, and they're probably not in that order actually, is physical stress, and that's because of extra weight gain. So many people are going into the holiday season post-COVID. So you already got COVID-19, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You already got this COVID thing going, or maybe before COVID, you were having challenges with your weight, having challenges with food relationships, and then COVID was added to it, and now you're adding the holidays to it, and now we're getting a compound effect. So what happens is, you literally start feeling out of control. Like, I don't even have control over my own body, my own reactions, my own responses, my own emotions. And so it is an easy target, especially if there's some root in emotional eating that goes back to the past. Then it's really easy, because guess what? Food is legal. Nobody's going to say, "Oh, you buying too much. You bought some food. Show me your license." Food as you want to. You know, you can buy as much food as you want to. You can go as many places to eat as you want to. You can drive through hop. Nobody knows, because the person at Chick-fil-A don't know that you're in the Zaxby's line right after the Chick-fil-A line, in the Popeyes line after Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A, or Krispy Kreme line. Now you've been in the Zaxby's line, the Chick-fil-A line, the Popeyes line, and now you're in the Krispy Kreme line. Nobody knows that but you. Nobody knows that but you. And so you got to be really like tapping into these aspects of yourself, and not overlook these things. To not, I'm a big person, I'm a big proponent of showing grace to yourself, but don't lie to yourself. I'm not a big proponent of lying to yourself. That is not okay, because guess what? Who's responsible for telling you the truth? Because a lot of times we don't give our loved ones and family and friends permission to say that, what kind of way is there anyway? So be really mindful of having your eyes wide open in this holiday season. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, and I meant to say it earlier because I had planned to end on emotional eating, but maybe I can make this fit, is one of the other things that happens is erratic behavior, loss of judgment and decision making during the holidays, especially when it comes to um, dating and relationships, um, having higher expectations for that boo than what that boo knows that they will have. So, being disappointed if you're not invited to their holiday parties, not invited to their family gatherings, getting disappointed if you're not invited to your boo's house on Christmas Day, if you're not getting the gift that you want. You thought you was, supposed to be getting a bigger gift. You thought you was going to get a ring this year. Different things. Be mindful that erratic behavior, a lot more domestic violence happens around this time of year. So is your holiday behavior off the chains? And this is not just, abusive behavior when it comes to physical abuse, but y'all, emotional abuse is real, and it is really damaging. So be aware of that people may not necessarily abuse in ways that you think. Withdrawing and withholding is another form of abuse that can happen during the holidays, especially for people who, I have some clients that they don't work outside the home, so they're dependent on their spouse or boo for income or for money, and that creates conflict. So be mindful, in short, of conflict around the holidays, whether that's conflict with romantic relationships, conflict with family relationships, conflict with yourself. So just be really, really mindful of those. So I want you to check yourself. I want you to check your holiday behavior. I've given you a lot to digest in a short period of time, but I want you to go back and listen to this, because it, I think, will definitely provide some insight as you gather around others, or you talking on the phone, or you reconnecting with family, friends, loved ones, college roommates, so that you're in a new awareness, or in a heightened or greater or expanded awareness, and you can, kind of be some fillers out there for people. So I have definitely covered a lot. I hope y'all have been able to get something here tonight. If you got something, give me some hearts or some thumbs up, some likes or something like that. Let me know you're still here. Let me know you got something tonight. It's not too late to tag somebody. Remember, you can always do the replay. I just put them up unedited. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go back and Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. Y'all, there's some good stuff coming up. I finally pulled the trigger on it and I decided that we are, yes, we are. It is an affirmative. We are having the Girl Get Ready for 2K22 Healthy, Happy, Hot Summit. The Wellness Summit is on and popping January 14th, 15th, and 16th. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek preview. You're gonna start seeing the ads come out and the registration come out. So I want y'all to start getting ready to register, getting ready to tell your friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, maybe even register some people. We're gonna have virtual tables, so you can actually get a table virtually. It's no cost to you unless you want to do VIP. But anyway, let me tell y'all, Friday night, so y'all get ready so you can book it on your calendar. Friday the 14th, that night, it's going to be on and cracking. We are going to have, well, last year, we had Dr. Tennille did a cocktail hour and she did healthy cocktails and she just gave us so much knowledge. She's a mixologist. And if she's out there, guess what I might be calling you? But we're going to have that. And then the first night, Friday night, I'm going to give y'all the sneak peek. It's going to be on sexual healing. Yes, sexual wellness. Come on, y'all. Come on now. We're all adults right here. So we're going to do Friday night on sexual healing. I have an amazing speaker that's going to be talking. I got several people, so just know that that's going to be great. You know what? Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Just get ready. I gave y'all one thing on Friday night. I want y'all to save the date, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, let me just key you in on that. We're going to do a session on spiritual intelligence. So we're really going to kind of go at a deeper level. And what I love about Sunday is that you definitely want to get in early because we're only doing a certain number of people. We're going to do a vision day party. So it's called Envision 2022, 2K22, EN capital VISION. So that's what you're going to start seeing, Envision 2K22. So we are doing a vision day party. So you get the opportunity to get your vision kit and all of that if you're a VIP. So that will be sent to you so you could be ready to do the vision board with us. It's going to be freaking amazing. I can hardly wait. So y'all, we're going to have to move quickly and swiftly. Y'all can't be having me sending you 35,000 emails because I don't have time for that. I just need you to see the email, register yourself, register 3, 4, 5 people, and just be there. I can't beg y'all this year because I just don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity, but I want you to be there because it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to end on that note. I thank you for being here. Thank you so much for getting the book, reading the book, and responding. If you don't mind, go on Amazon. And all of you can go on Amazon. Girl, get ready to lose the damn weight. Yes, emphasis on lose this damn weight. And I'm telling you, it's a weight loss book about more than weight loss. So you got to get it to tune into that. And I want you, if you've already gotten it, do some reviews. But since you mentioned it, I'm going to tell you one more thing on Saturday is that we are doing a book club, a virtual book club on Saturday. So we're actually going to have a studio this year. So you're going to see us in studio. So we're going to be on a book club, and I'm going to talk about the book, all kinds of stuff. So be there, be there, be there. Guess what, y'all? If you haven't heard it enough, if you haven't heard it at all, or if you can stand to hear it just one more time before the evening ends, guess what? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. So until next time, bliss and blessings. Bye-bye. We're out of here.